Boom, boom. This is Kenner. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, we get a little bit of Azur Lane up today. So I decided to go ahead and make a video, speak a little bit about some of the new ships that have just came out. I've had pretty good luck. I actually nailed Kronshtadt yesterday, and I got two more today. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those ships real quick. Just go into our dock here. So, I got Kronshtadt, I think it was either yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I'm pretty sure. As you can see, I've already got her up to 65. We're bringing her up pretty quick. We'll have her done pretty quick. She's not required in the missions event. She's not required to level break, limit break and get up to 70. She's not required for that. You just have to obtain her to get the points. Now, the other ones they are, and those are, I got two. I've got Volga and Archangelisk. Now, these two are in the build tab. I got Synergized. Now, she is from the actual event. So I'm only lacking one ship, and that is, show you for the build tab here. That is Kiev. So we'll get Kiev pretty soon too, hopefully. But yeah, Volga, Archangelisk, and Kronshtadt. I've got those three. And we got the surveillance from the actual event, which is right here. If you look at your events, it is called that's the actual event from before. So it's in the milestone reward abyssal refrain, and you get her at 10,000 the first time, and you can get some more copies of it if you need to for limit breaking. But I've got all of the actual mats that I need to limit break all the ships. So it's just a matter of working them up to 70, and then we'll limit break them to get the points. I'm moving through the event. I'm already on hard. I'm at C2, just cleared C2. I'll be doing C3 this evening, and then tomorrow I'll start in on D, probably knock out a couple, and the day after that I should have it completed. And then from there on out, it'll just be running the SP and the EX. See if we can beat them, because they are pretty good. Difficult to beat, but we'll see what we can do. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the ships here. So let's go ahead and screen this down here, and we'll minimize this. Now, first ship up is, of course, Kronshtadt. Now, I'm on the wiki right here, simply because of the fact that this is the best place to get the max limit and all the good information. So we've got efficiency at 5. The limit breaking ranks, one's for secondary gun efficiency plus 10, main gun efficiency plus 15. So as you can see, limit breaking is going to increase your gun efficiency by a lot. So we've got, it's always good when you see a ship that has all three types. So we've got attack, and support, and we've got some healing, which is one of the things I really like about her, is the fact that there is some healing. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we got increases the ship's firepower and evasion by 8% every 8 times the ship fires her main gun. And it damages with the skill level. If this ship is equipped with a high caliber main gun, 280 mm or higher, you can get one of those in the shop. You can fire this barrage every 4 times the ship fires its main guns instead of 8. So using a 280 mm or higher, you can knock that down to 4 times from 8 times. Okay, so that's very, very, very important, because getting 8 inside of a battle is going to be exceedingly difficult. So it's really nice to get that on 4. 4 is doable inside of a medium to long level fight. So that should be definitely what you're shooting for. So anything 280 mm or higher. All right, and then tempered prudence, decrease the damage it takes from AP ammo by 3.5. So anytime a lot of the battleships that you're going up against, of course, all of them pretty much are with an AP ammo shell. So this is going to be able to decrease the damage you take. And every 4 times this ship fires a secondary gun, it fires a special that decreases the firepower of enemies it hits by 5%. Barrage damage scales with level. When this ship equips at least one Northern Parliament gear, increase the ship's secondary gun efficiency by 25%, up to 45%. And it decreases the damage taken by 8% from all sources instead of only from APM. So we're getting around the board a decrease of 8% when we equip some Northern Parliament gear. All right, so that's pretty good. A pretty good setup as well too. So she is frontline, she's Vanguard, so any type of survivability is useful. And then finally we've got strong-willed support. Once per battle, when this ship's health falls under 10%, So gonna have to get down pretty low because get the help to fall into 10%. It decreases the ship's burn damage taken by 50%. That can have some usefulness inside of PvP as well, because a lot of the high-end PvP teams use the burn theme for their damage. And it heals 1% of her max health every second for 10 seconds. So, and as long as this ship afloat, if the fleet ship is not engages in battle, if the fleet's bagship is BBB. So this is some of that cross fleet support that we like to see. If that fleet's flagship is a BB, decreases the main gun spread of all BBs in their fleet by 2, and then 20 seconds after the battle starts, fires a special barrage that decreases the speed of enemies hit by 40%. So that's a pretty big speed decrease there for 5 seconds. So she's got it pretty good. So she's very, very, very well rounded. She got some heal. I got some firepower increase, some evasion increase. So she's got pretty much everything, and she's going to need it because she is on the front line. Now, if you look at her base stats, she's got some pretty good stats. Okay, 7,455. That's a tad bit lower than some of the others. But of course you can't really, consider Azuma to be normal. She's a DR ship, so you're not going to get that much. But she has a lot in the way of support. So definitely a really good ship. Definitely something that you want to get. And she is large cruiser, which makes her front line really good. She's got medium armor. Okay, so but yeah, I do like her, and like I said, I do already have her. So definitely something that you want to look at. Now, next we've got Kiev, but I'm going to go ahead and keep over here and jump to Volga, because Volga is aircraft carrier. So we've got a northern part of an aircraft carrier, which can make things good. So let's take a look at the skill set she's got. When this ship launches an airstrike, 75% chance to launch an additional level 10 airstrike. Damage is based on the skills level, and inflicts the flooding status for 12 seconds to enemies hit. Okay, flooding slows the ships down. If this effect fails to activate, it instead fires a level 10 special barrage. Okay, and it's based on the skill level and the ship's aviation stat. Okay, so that's pretty good. So we've got Crystals of the Great River. Every 20 seconds, it selects the lowest hit point HP percentage ship in your fleet, and afterwards 2 randomly chosen ships in your fleet, and recovers the hit points for the ships equal to 5% of the ship's max hit point. So if possible for a ship to receive multiple heals. So in other words, if you're healed, it has a chance it can happen again. After this effect activates, spawns a level 10 summon that explodes, dealing a damage to enemies. So this is one of the reasons I liked about her, is the fact that she's got some stuff that a lot of other aircraft carriers don't. The only other aircraft carrier we had that we have 2 that actually heal. We've got Unicorn, and then we've got, of course, Ruho. But Yuho, she's the better of the 2, of course. And you should definitely have her, and you should definitely be leveling her up. But now we have another one that can do that. But we've also got a little bit of specialty in there with the summons that explodes. But we're not finished, okay? It says when this battle starts, increases the ship's aviation by 5% for each ship in your vanguard. So, and what I liked about this is it said, when this battle starts, increases this ship's aviation by 5 per each ship in your vanguard. Okay, does not say anything about it having to be a northern part of it ship. Just has to be a ship, which is good. Okay, if your flagship or vanguard lead ship is a northern, it grants this ship the full stack of 3, regardless of the number of ships in your vanguard. So this will be excellent in terms of that you can actually still get that buff, even though you don't have a full vanguard. So that instigates some farming capabilities. I know she's a little bit too heavy for farming, but I do like this. I think this is a really, really good setup, and I like it a lot because she's very, very useful. Just the fact that she heals and whatnot. So, give us a flagship and give us some Sky Soys, and we'll be in really good shape. But yeah, so definitely a good ship. So we definitely want to take Volga up as far as we can take her. Go ahead and max her out. I would suggest doing that. All right, now she is an SSR, as of course. So next we've got Kiev destroyer. Okay. Um, so excellent design here. But let's take a look at that. So can I attack now? 5 seconds after the battle starts, every 10 seconds after that, fires an upgraded version of this barrage and also increases the ship's crit rate and crit damage. As you can see, they've been leaning a lot towards damage increasing modifiers for destroyers. Still a little bit lacking on the survivability for some. I have actually been surprised at how survivable Shimakaze is. I have her survive in auto on level 12 without much of a problem. So you can, you might want to throw in a little healing just to be on the safe side. But most of my tests have shown that 85 to 90% of the time she will survive, even on auto. Okay, so 10% on that crit damage boost, which is really nice. And the barrage demo, okay, crit related effects can only activate, so you can only activate it 2 times, but let's be reasonable. That's probably going to hit just about every time. Okay, because that's like 15 seconds, 5 seconds, and then only 2 times per battle. So yeah, it should be able to proc. I don't see any reason why not. I didn't hang in there. Sure, increases this ship's accuracy by 10% when the battle starts. If there are 3 ships afloat in your vanguard, or there is one other Northern Parliament ship in your vanguard, increases its firepower and torpedo by 15%. That's pretty good. If this ship is your sole vanguard ship, it increases this ship's anti-air by and evasion by 15%. So this gives us a little bit of survivability. Okay, so you're thinking about the type of this ship is your sole vanguard ship, so maybe the other 2 have been sunk. So she's then going to get a buff to her AV anti-aircraft evasion by 15%, so that helps. And then all out of assault once every 10 times main guns are fired. So she's got a pretty good set. Okay. Problem is she's light armor, but that's really not a lot of hit points. So yeah, she's got it's really difficult for any type of vanguard ship with this low of a hit point stat to survive in the higher levels without some type of healing. Okay, but yeah, you're going to be hard pressed to really see her survivability increase sort of later in the game. I do like the fact that they do give her some anti-invasion, 15%, but I just don't see helping that much. So she's not a bad ship, if you're new to the game or something and you're looking for a destroyer. But as I said, destroyer's just not meta. So at this point, I'm saying Kronshtadt definitely, Volga definitely. Let's take a look at Archangel's. She's epic. So let's take a look and see what we got. So she's a Northern Parliament, of course, battleship. So a special barrage that increases the accuracy of your main fleet by 10% for 8 seconds. Okay, not bad. All right, now here we go. For each Northern Parliament or Royal Navy ship, so we've got the HMS in there as well, and the same fleet as ship increases this ship's firepower by 5%. Can be stacked up to 3 times. If there are 3 or more, also increases the ship's anti-air by 15% and increases her burn damage taken by 10%. So she's got some usefulness in terms of an epic ship. She's actually not bad. So definitely a ship that you might want to consider running into that, because she does have heavy armor. So that's interesting. But she's an elite, so you have to take that too. And then, of course, last but not least, we've got the Genius Mechanic, as if you watch the light. So we've, of course, got a destroyer. Of course, not much in light armor, so not a whole lot going on there. But let's see what she's got here now. So every 15 seconds, so 30% chance to deploy a smoke screen that increases the evasion rate by 40% for all your ships in it. A smoke screen lasts 5%. Evasion rate does not. So this is survivability not for only you, but for your front line as well. And then while this ship is inside a smoke room, this ship's damage dealt by 12% increase. That's pretty good. Once per battle, increases her luck by 8 until the battle ends. That is not bad. The Genius Mechanic, that's not bad at all. A Genius keeps things simple. So every 20 seconds, a 70% chance to fire level if there is at least one other DD originating from the Northern Parliament. Ergo, yeah, we've got several of them, so you shouldn't have any trouble finding one. Restores 5% hit points of a randomly chosen DDC. This is the problem here. If this was 5% hit points of ship with least hit points originating in your fleet, that would have been a whole lot better. Randomly means it might not even hit ship that needs it. Of course, if you have multiple destroyers in your vanguard, that's probably a ship that's going to need it. Increase this healing effect can activate up to 2 times per battle. If the healing of the recipient is Tashkent, the amount of hit points restored is increased by 50%. So this is going to make Tashkent, who is an SSR ship, by the way, and has an excellent skill set with some funny little things about it that make her extremely useful. Again, a 50% increase rate on heal. But again, it's going to be random, so she might not get it. But if Tashkent does get it, then the amount of hit point restored would be increased by 50%. So yeah, it would have been nice if that was a targeted heal. Like I say, non-targeted heals are just not that useful in this game because it's a targeted heal is always better. But this does give you some reasons to consider a possibility in there. But she is an epic, so there are limits. But yeah, all these ships are pretty good ships. There's nothing really bad about any of them. We definitely want Kronshtadt and Volga. Even though Archangelus is an actual epic, she does have some usefulness that I could see. Okay, the other two, they're destroyers. You definitely want to get them all, and you definitely want to take them up to 70, and then you want to fully limit break them, of course. But I would definitely max out Kronshtadt. I'd definitely max out Volga, and probably even consider doing Archangelus, simply because she's an aircraft. Simply because of the fact that she has some usefulness in her skill set that makes her pretty good. Okay. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff coming off from this. A firepower increase, okay. If they're anti-air increase, and then a decrease in her burn damage by 10%. So she's got some usefulness, okay. So I would definitely consider, that's something you might want to consider. Volga definitely, just because we're still lacking in aircraft carriers inside of the Northern Parliament, so it's nice to have that. Yeah, that's what I got. So let's get back into the game here. So let's take a look at. So we've got the event shop up, of course, and right there is Kiev. So as you can see, I've pretty much got everything that I need to actually complete this. Because Kiev was the one that I am missing, but she's in here. So I would prefer not to have to shell out the 8,000 to do that. I've already purchased it. I went ahead and purchased the gun and put it on Kronshtadt. So that's what I'm using on her just for the time being. And working through her skill set, because she's got a really good skill set, as I showed. It's pretty effective. So as you can see, these are all the Northern Parliament ships. And as you can see, there was one thing that they were seriously lacking, and that is an aircraft carrier. So that's why I say you need to bring Volga up if you want to create a Northern Parliament fleet. You could have a really, really, really good fleet for Northern Parliament. I mean, you could have Kronshtadt and Pamiat and Talon on the front line. You could even throw Aurora in there. She's got some pretty good skill set as well, too. You might want to consider throwing in Tashkent. Don't confuse Tashkent U with Tashkent up here. But that's only if you're going to you get that healing effect from Kiev. But yeah, and then backline, you could have Sovietskaya Belarus, you could have Sovietskaya Rossini. So there's a lot of good stuff that's going on inside of this. Rosia and Belarus are excellent backline ships, and hopefully we get Sovietskaya Soya so we can have an entirely Sovietskaya backline. But there's plenty of ships that you can put in the backline as well. That work very well too. So you can make a pretty good fleet at this point. Pretty so. I'm in the process of bigging up some of my Northern Parliament ships. I was really looking for something to separate them from the rest of them. I was really hoping that Sovetskaya Soyuz was going to be the ship that they brought out, but they didn't. But now we've got a backline. So a backline, you could run, the two Sovetskayas, and you could throw Volga in there, give you some damage from an aircraft carrier as well. So a well-rounded fleet. Okay, definitely got some survivability. Pamela out with her roof retrofit as a beast in survivability. I mean, it's just been ridiculous how easy it is for her to survive. And with Kronshtadt, you're definitely going to have survivability from her. Aurora and so Aurora and Tashkent. Talon works out pretty good as well. So I've been used her for quite some time, because of the fact that she was one of the first ships that I got, and I just started working on her, and she has a really good, interesting skill set. But her survivability is very good as well too. So that's something to look at. But we've definitely got a well-rounded fleet of ships. A lot of destroyers, but it is what it is. If you want to do some farming, some of the destroyers are not too bad, especially Tashkent. But yeah, so I like where they're going with it. It's pretty good. I'm glad that glad that we've now got something that we can consider, something to really focus on for making a fleet of them, and we'll have that and we'll test them out. So, so the missile rating, it's going to be up until 3.9. So we've just recently started on this. I've hit it pretty hard. Like I say, I'll probably I'll be getting into D's tomorrow. Within the next 2 days, I should be hitting XPs, the SP and the EX, and of course we'll do videos and show that. I've got 10,000, but I've already spent 2,000 on the gun, because I did go ahead and snatch the gun up and just went ahead and threw it onto Kronshtadt just to have a gold gun on her, because I am running her inside of my formation. I am running just for the sake of keeping with the theme. I am running a mostly northern part of the fleet. I do have UVH in there simply because I want to finish getting her up to 120. She just goes all over the screen. I don't know how many times I went into the formation and thought, oh, my center's empty, only to find out that she's been flowing around up here or flowing around over here. So she does not sit still. But as you can see, yeah, so that's what I've got. So I've got Kronshtadt in the center here. So survivability. Of course, your bookends always take the most damage. Okay, so sticking her in the center gives her a little bit more survivability because she's only at 65. But she hasn't had any trouble. What's that? And then I've got Rosia and Belarisa on the sides. So yeah, so this could be similar to what what a fleet looks like with them. Just take out UVH and you put our Volga in there, and we'd be in good shape. So we'll have to see exactly which way things go. But yeah, I'm liking it. I'm not having any trouble. I can clear easily, clear 5. C2, all 5 with this, not a problem. Nobody came even close to dying. Kronshtadt a lot, just a teensy weensy bit of health, but again, she's only at 65, and I haven't even got her fleet. I haven't got her skills. I'm working on her skills right now, but they're not up to. And she's going to start getting that healing once we have that activate that her second skill. So shouldn't be a problem in terms of surviving for her as all. Yeah, but that's what it looks like. So I just like to keep with the theme when there's an event going on. I try to have, you have to 3-star, so you always want to take 2 fleets for that first time around. So I usually take a fleet that's sort of like keeping with the theme of the game, and then the second fleet will just be a mop-up fleet. And I'll usually pick a fleet that matches the actual priority ship that I'm working on at the time. So if it's like an Ironblood ship, I'll take an Ironblood fleet. Secure Empire, PR ship I'm working on, I'll take a Secure Empire fleet, because using those ships that are what give you the experience points that you need to finish those ships. But yeah, so other than that, there's really not a whole lot going on. We spoke about this stuff before. The refrain, the milestone rewards, a call to arms. As you can see, I've already got 800, and that's simply because you just have to build Kronshtadt, and I got Kronshtadt pretty fast. I didn't get anything the first day. I did get anything the second day I started getting work. Then I hit Kronshtadt, so I was really happy with that. I think it was yesterday, I'm pretty sure. And then today we nailed the other 2 ships. So I've got them all now because I can get the other one from the shop. But I would really like to build Kiev, because I don't particularly want to waste the 8,000 points inside of the event shop to get Kiev. I'd like to just if it starts to get towards the end of the actual thing, I'm probably going to have 40, 45. Okay, so I should be able to get her, because this was the only other outlier that I was going to focus, and it's only 2,000 to get that, so it's not that big of a deal. there's not like 3 or 4 weapons in here or 2 ships that got a bunch of blueprints. It's just a flat rate 2,000. So a total for 10,000 to actually get the ship in that. So, but we'll have to see. I will make sure that I have enough to get all the stuff that I need, plus the 8,000 if I needed to get Kiev. And as always, the missions to build the ships and stuff here, these stay up 7 days after the event ends, so you'll have time to build Kiev if you need to get her in the shop, because you don't want to purchase Kiev until the day after the build closes. Okay, don't go purchasing her until this ends. Okay, so don't purchase Kiev until 3:10. Okay, because you want to wait right up until the last minute. You could possibly build her in here, and then you don't have to purchase it in the shop. You can just use your standard bullets. And then they give us 7 days, and it's really easy to get a ship up to 70 in 7 days. I mean, it's you can do it. I can do it instantly because I have enough of the experience data packs. That's what I've been used several of them on Kronshtadt. That's how I've got Kronshtadt up to 65, and I've only had her for a few days. You just hit the boost the XP, and you should be getting a bunch of these. Okay, I have to go in here periodically just to clean this out because I max it out. So as you can see, that's just another 2 right there. So you should not have any trouble whatsoever. Getting your ship up within 7 days. Just throw some boost XP, throw them in your dorm. Okay, and you shouldn't have any trouble. Use them in run them in some fleets and stuff, throw them in the center line until they get you, and you shouldn't have any trouble doing that. And it's just a matter of obtaining a mats. But if you're doing your dailies and your weeklies, you should have plenty of mats. I have plenty of mats right now. So we just go down here to the bottom. As you can see in my mats, I have bunches of yours and a bunch of the birds, so more than enough to actually complete the ships. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. I got a new ship yesterday, Z36 in there, Super Lane, so I haven't had a chance to put them in. I did put our chances of Volga are in the dorm right now, so they've already got 8 by the dorm, and I'll start doing the 1200. I had already started the daily for today for the commission, so I didn't have a chance, but I will be putting them in the 18,000 EXP commission for a couple of days just to get them to 70. And since I'm going to be bringing them up to 120, I'll just continue with that. But yeah, so definitely Northern Parliament Fleet is definitely a reality. It's got some really good setups, some pretty good synergy, and definitely you can have a full SSR if you're doing that. I like the fact that we did finally get a carrier. That was one of the reasons I was a little bit on the cusp about making a fleet, because I really didn't see anything. I always like to have a carrier, simply because carriers just do more damage. And now we've got a carrier, and from the looks of it, with the firepower buff, she can be sifting out some serious firepower, as well as some other utilities. So anytime you have utility, that just makes things better. And I like the fact that they do have quite a bit of utility. And then we come out with wait for Sovietskaya Soyuz if they ever release her. Would be nice. Yeah, so I guess she's probably going to end up. It's probably going to end up being an SSR ship, unfortunately, because probably the next UR ship we're going to get is most likely going to be an HMS ship. An HMS ship. They've been getting a lot of sort of shade recently. They haven't been really focusing on them. They haven't really done anything for the HMS in a long time. The Royal Navy has just been totally neglected. So I'm expecting probably the next UR ship will most likely be a Royal Navy ship. If it is a ship, in my honest opinion, I know they don't do this, but they need to do something for Queen Elizabeth. They need to do something for Elizabeth. She needs to be either A, given a retrofit to take her up and make her on a UR level, because she is the flagship. She's an elite ship, in case you're wondering. I mean, that's like a total annoyance to me. She needs to be brought up. So retrofit her, do something to make her more powerful. Now, in terms of, a lot of people have been saying that they would like, you can't really release a UR ship. That's one of the things that, I mean, even the double ships that they've got in here, such as Kaga and Kaga, they were they were battleships before they were completely remade into carriers due to the treaty. So that's one of the reasons that we've got two ships. But they really, I don't want don't want them to start getting into 2-3 types of ship of the same name. Just would not be something that you could do. It would ruin the whole feel for the game. So a retrofit would be something. Throw in a retrofit to make her your ship. If you want to do that, I mean, there's no reason why we can't have an extra powerful retrofit to make her on the equivalent. Even though she is so normally, if she's an epic ship, she would become an SSR ship after the retrofit, as well as SSR ships when they get retrofitted, they go into the UR phase, such as San Diego and Warspite. But it would be nice to see that something take effect for Elizabeth, and maybe a double retrofit or something to bring her up to UR level. But yeah, I got a feeling we're going to see something associated with the Royal Navy here sometime in the next. So I'm thinking the next UR will probably be a Royal Navy ship. I could be wrong. It could be something else. I mean, they don't have any. They did not have much for the Northern Parliament in terms of superior ships. Now that they've got that, the Ironblood is just totally stacked. I mean, that's just the amount of ships that they have powerful battles are just ridiculous. We've got Jersey for the Eagle Union. We've got Shinado and Shimakaze for the Sakura Empire. So the next obvious choice for your ship would be the Royal Navy. So that's what we'll probably see. It'll be interesting to see who it is. But yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll check it out. All right, so yeah, that's all I got. So I just wanted to give you an update. The story was fascinating. Excellent story. Blended writing with the lore perfect. So that was a good call as well too, and they did a really good job. So again, thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe, to see the bell, click on it. You get notified each time you jump. Also remember to like and share the video, as that helps the channel immensely. This is Kenrith coming at you from the corner, signing out.